Hello everyone, it is me, Panda, and in this video we'll be talking about the chunk hoppers and how they are a very simple but highly unappreciated feature of any server out there. If you are new to Pandara or if you are new to chunk hoppers, this video is definitely for you. To begin with, let's go over what a chunk is. According to the Minecraft wiki, a chunk is a 256 block tall, or if you're playing 1.18 or above, is a 384 block tall structure. It is 16 blocks wide by 16 blocks deep, and it covers from the very bottom all the way to the very top of the map. To display your chunks, you can just press F3 plus G at the same time, or you can just hold F3 and press G. And this will turn those grids on, and you can see it here, it defines the whole chunk area. If you continue to walk on your map, you're gonna cross those grids and it will be updated to tell you that you are in the chunk and what chunk you are in. So what does a chunk hopper do, Panda? Well, thank you for asking the question, and the answer is pretty simple actually. So like any other hopper, its main function is to collect anything that drops on it. The difference being that the chunk hopper will extend that feature to the entire chunk. So technically, anything that falls into this chunk will not fall on the ground and will automatically be collected by this hopper. So let's start with an example here. I've got this oak tree, and if I break the tree, it should decay very quickly. And we're not seeing any items, so if I come and take a look inside the chest, there you go. That's the oak log that I broke from the tree, and it dropped some sticks and 2 saplings. That's still okay. Okay, fine. You don't want to decay? Fine with me. Now there you go, another sapling. What happens if you have multiple chunk hoppers in one chunk? Well, that depends how you set them up. So for example, if I break that tree and it starts to decay, the items will be collected at random by whatever chunk hopper it's in that chunk. The difference being is the chunk hopper also has another feature, which is the chunk filter, and if you empty-handed crouch and right click on the chunk hopper, you will see the hopper filter, and you can add items to the filter. So in this case here, I have added an oak sapling, which tells the chunk hopper that any oak sapling falling in this chunk should be collected by this one specifically. Okay, so this one will ignore any other item and will only collect the oak saplings. So let's test it. Let me break this tree and hit pretty quick. There you go. Oh, another one, and it starts to decay. I have accelerated the decay rate, by the way, just for the sake of the example. Trees normally don't decay this fast. And as it's almost finished, let's take a look, and there you go. We've got one oak sapling here, which means that I have set this filter to only collect oak saplings, and if I open that, there is an oak sapling. I have set up this filter to only collect sticks, and if I open here, I've got 3 sticks. And this one I have set to only collect apples, and if that tree dropped any apple, you should see it here. It did not drop any apple. You can also add multiple items to your filter. So this filter here, I have added those 3 flowers, and if I break those flowers, let's break them all, you notice that they are not dropping on the ground. Okay, let me break them all. It's just, there you go. And if I look in this chest, they are all there. So the great thing about the chunk hopper, it prevents your items to fall on the ground. So it could be picked by another player, it could be picked by a mob, or it could even be removed by a server cleaning process. And as you notice, I have only added those specific items to the filter, and the flowers, and the apple. So if I happen to have a mob, for example, and if I kill this mob, there you go. It didn't drop anything. Did it collect it? Nope. It just happened to not drop anything, which is interesting. Let's try again. So if I kill this mob, there you go, it has dropped a rotten flesh, and the rotten flesh has dropped on the floor. It was not collected by the hoppers because they have their own filters and they will exclude anything that is not in those filters. So let's do another test. Let's break this tree as well. And oh, there's one right there. Are you decaying? I cannot see. No, there's another log right there. Oh, come on. Oh, got it. Okay, let's see if we are lucky and we get an apple. Nah, those trees don't want to drop apples. There you go. All the saplings are being collected here. All the sticks are being collected here. Not dropping flowers. It's also not dropping apples. Cheap tree. I'll get those. Oh yeah, there you go. The logs dropped on the floor because I also didn't put them in the filters. So be very careful. If you dropped anything from your item, or if you dropped anything in this area that is not in the filter selection, you might lose that item. And another use for the chunk hopper is you can move items from one chunk to another using the chunk hoppers. That will prevent you from creating a massive line of chunk hoppers as well. So as you can see here, I've got my tree, and here I've got a chunk hopper connected to this dropper, and this dropper is very precisely positioned right at the edge of the chunk, as you can see right over there with the yellow line. So what happens is when the tree decays, it will drop an item, that hopper will collect it, it will give it to the dropper. The dropper is on auto dropping mode. I can show you how to build that clock later, because that clock will only be activated if there is anything inside that hopper. So sorry, that dropper, I forgot for a second. So if anything goes inside that dropper, this clock will be activated and that item will be dropped. Okay, and as it drops, it will be collected by this hopper, and this hopper has a filter in it. So here we've got the oak sapling. So any oak sapling that is dropped by the dropper will be collected by this one, and anything else will be ignored and be collected by this other one, which is also connected to another dropper, which is also connected by another dropper. And as items enter the dropper, it will activate the clock and it will be dropped again, and finally being collected by this chunk hopper. So let's have a go. I've got my netherite axe and I'm going to break this tree. I've made this tree extra thick just for the sake of this example. Now let's break this. Almost there. And one more, maybe? Yeah, no. There's another. Oh, I don't know if there was. There you go. The tree is decaying. As you can see, the dropper has been activated. There you go. Every time you collect an item, you activate, it drops the item. I've got my 3 oak saplings here. So anything else being dropped that is not collected by that one will be collected by this one, and subsequently will be dropped and will be collected by this chunk hopper. So all the other items will be here, and that is one way where you can move items very fast through chunks without using a million hoppers. Okay, and it is at the speed of a tick. So as it broke there, as it decayed, and the item drops on the floor, is collected by this one, dropped. If not collected by that one, dropped, and then dropped here again, and it moves to this place. And there it is. These are some examples of what I can do with my chunk hoppers, and this, in my opinion, is the best way to move items around in your game. And the best of it all is that they will work anywhere from the top to the bottom of the chunk. So you can always hide them very well hidden. They will never be on display. You can keep them deep in a basement, and everything that falls on that chunk will be collected and will be organized and placed in just one place. So you don't ever have to bother again where items will drop in those chunks. They will always be collected. There you go, guys. This is it for the chunk hopper. And what do you think of it? If you have any questions, leave it down below or join our Discord. The links are in the description for this video. And if you like this video, you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. That would be amazing. If you haven't checked our server, please consider coming for a visit. The IP is displayed above in the video, and as I mentioned before, any other relevant links will be down in the description of this video. So I hope to see you there. Take care.